Hello, dear kids. Today I'll be reading the last story of the Big Book of Just So Stories, written by Miles Killy. And it will be How the Whale Got His Throat. Once upon a time, there was a whale and he ate fish. He ate starfish and the garfish and the crab and the dap and the plice and the dice and the really truly twirly whirly eel. He ate all the fish he could find in all the sea. One day the whale said, "I'm hungry." There was now only small fish left in all the sea, and he said, "Noble and generous whale, have you ever tasted man?" "No," said the whale. "What is it like?" "Nice," said the fish. "Nice, but knobbly." "Splash!" "Then fetch me some," boomed the whale. "One at a time is enough," said the clever fish, and he told the whale where he could find a man. So the whale swam and swam as fast as he could swim. At last, in the middle of the sea, he came to a raft. On the raft was a solitary, shipwrecked sailor trailing his toes in the water. He wore blue trousers held up with braces, and he carried a knife, and they were the only things he had left in the world. The whale opened his mouth, back and back and back, till it nearly touched his tail, and he swallowed the sailor in his blue trousers and braces, and his raft, and his knife. Gulp! He swallowed them all down into his warm, dark inside cupboards. Then he smacked his lips and turned round 3 times on his tail. But as soon as the sailor found himself inside the whale's warm, dark inside cupboards, he thumped, and he pumped, and he stomped, and he jumped, and he hit, and he bit, and he banged, and he clanged, and he hopped, and he dropped, and he brawled, and he hauled, and he danced horny pipes where he shouldn't. The whale felt most unhappy indeed, so he said to the clever little fish, "This man is very nubbly, and he's making me hiccup. What shall I do?" "Tell him to come out," said the fish. So the whale called down his own throat to the sailor, "Come out and behave yourself. I've got hiccups." "No," said the sailor. "Take me home and I'll think about it." And he began to dance more than ever. "You had better take him home," said the clever fish. So the whale swam and swam and swam with both flippers and his tail, as hard as he could with his hiccups. Hiccup! But while the whale was swimming, the sailor took his knife and cut up his raft to make a little square grating all running crisscross. He tied up firm with his braces, and he wedged that grating good and tight into whale's throat, and there it stuck. At last the whale saw the shore, and he rushed halfway up the beach and opened his mouth wide and wide and wide and said, "We're at your stop. Time to go." The sailor stepped out on the beach and went home, where he married and lived happily ever after. But before he went, he waved goodbye to the whale and sang, By means of a grating, I've stopped your eating. The clever little fish went and hid himself in mud just under the door of the equator. He was afraid that the whale might be angry with him, and the whale did not find him, not until he got out of his temper, and then they were good friends again. From that day on, the grating in the whale's throat, which he could not cough up nor swallow down, stopped him eating anything except very, very small fish. The starfish and the garfish and the crab and the dab and all the other were most relieved. And that is the reason why whales today never eat sailors or little boys or girls. Good night.